Another difficult, uncomfortable night for Frank Lampard since he's returned for his second spell. 6 defeats in a row and just 2 goals scored. In fact, Frank Lampard, as a manager now, 14 defeats in his last 15 in the hot seat. Let's see what he thinks about this particular defeat at the Emirates.
Well, Frank, better second half, but ultimately another tough night. What did you make of it?
Yeah, performance first half nowhere near good enough. Too nice to play against in all aspects, too passive defensively. The lines weren't coming up, giving them the space they want. Too from position, in possession, not, playing balls over their press, second balls, all the things that make you a nice team to play against, we did. Hence, a good team can go 3-0 up against you. The second half was better. But, of course, the results relatively confirmed by them.
I mean, does that really hurt you to say? Because one thing I think of with your Chelsea teams, no one would ever finish a game against them and think, that was nice.
Oh, I don't know about my Chelsea teams.
Any Chelsea team, I suppose.
Yeah, Chelsea's been a big success for 20 years or whatever it is in terms of domestically and with Champions Leagues. But at the moment, we're not in that position. And in the time I've been here, it's pretty evident and clear for me to see behind the scenes, and I say the training ground reasons why. The idea, as I say, if you're going to be a nice team to play against, you want to play short passes all the time and back on ourselves and not look up to play a forward pass, and at the top end of the pitch, no responsibility to hold and run behind and do some things that we did do in the second half, then it doesn't matter whether you come to Arsenal or anywhere in the Premier League. So, those things maybe are not things to change overnight. But we better get there quickly because we've got another game coming at the weekend and the game's come.
I think the default sometimes with supporters and from us in the media is when you see a first half like that, they're not trying hard enough, they don't care enough. Is that fair? Is that right?
Well, the passive nature of our game, you could attribute it to many things, and I think that's the easy go-to. They don't care enough. The players certainly care, but when you are... And I hate to say this, low on confidence, because tonight I don't want to say the low on confidence thing too much, because you're playing for Chelsea, there's a level of performance you have to do, and you can be low on confidence but still show a dynamic side to your game where things might not go for you, but as a collective, you're making contact off the ball with their good players, but making them feel hurried. We didn't, and all the things we spoke about before the game. So, whatever. Maybe it doesn't even matter what the core reason is, because the only thing that will get you out of it is working hard and understanding the things to do. And at the minute, we're a team that's a little bit conditioned in a way that makes it pretty nice to play against. And that's what a Chelsea team hasn't been in recent years, and that's what will have to change.
Where does the gap between the two teams that we saw tonight, where does that come from?
I don't know. It's... Maybe it was a different gap. It was the other way around for many years. And it's football, we have to just understand it now and not think about the gap, think of ourselves and perform to a level, because I was asked a lot about the game with the talent in the room, and all these things in the dressing room. But we have to, from what this season tells you, from start to finish, by the way, because the goals that we've scored, the points that we've got is not a normal Chelsea season. We need to find the reasons quickly, and it won't be an overnight fix, because these things are not, in terms of going from the first half being so nice to play against that you're not competing enough in the game is something that really has to be corrected.
I guess that's what I'm getting at, really. You put those two teams on paper alongside each other and you think, well, there shouldn't really be any gap, but you look on the pitch and in the league table and it's huge.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of parts to that, aren't there? You could probably say this has been a team building for 2 or 3 years in the making, so they've added in pretty much every position high level players. They've had some great players come through. The 2 wingers are a great example of that. So they've done a lot in their sense, and then they work on an idea, on a way, and you can see some things become second nature. And the movements they want to make. So for me, it's impossible for me to come in here in 3 or 4 weeks and get all those things, because you have to work on the training ground, all that stuff. You can't just show a meeting and show the players here's the movements to make and go out and do it. You have to repeat, work and repeat, and have to have buy-in. And if players don't do it, then they don't get in the team. And that's the process of a top club.
And 6 games in for you, do you feel almost like the more you search for answers, the further away you get?
No, the main answers for me are pretty simple. So we have to do them better, the basics, and do them better, and then we'll get some progress. At the minute, we're not getting progress because the results tell you that. So it's clear tonight for me. But the first half was nowhere near good enough as a performance for the players that we got and where we want to be as Chelsea. but it's a reality, and you know,